everybody. Well, here we are. We are ready for season 5, and we are a National League team. We are starting to get serious here. This is really big stuff now. It kind of feels like we are still semi-professional, but it kind of feels like we're getting towards the more serious level of football where things have to be done right. I did ask the board if we could go professional. Due to our financial situation, they refused, which is obviously unfortunate. Kind of difficult to get out of this league maybe without being professional, but we'll give it a good go. You can see on the right-hand side that we are now at Sixfields Stadium, which is Northampton Town's stadium. Now, traditionally, these two clubs, the original club and Northampton Town, were big rivals back in the day. And now we have to sit in their stadium. That's a little bit annoying. Yeah, we had to upgrade Hayden Road. We obviously don't have the money for it. We are getting on £200,000 in debt now, which I'll speak about in a little while. So there was no money to upgrade Hayden Road. We are renting Sixfields Stadium. I think if we just check, I think it's about a 6,000 seater stadium. I think I'm right in saying that. Is it going to want to load up? There you go. What does it say? It's nearly 8,000. So, I mean, if we could get a big FA Cup game or something this season and fill that, that'd be pretty nice, wouldn't it? So, if we do well in the league and we can start getting attendances up, then we've actually got a little bit of scope to bring in some money there. That's probably not going to be too much of an issue in the Vanarama National League. I think we're probably looking at around about 1,500, 2,000 fans max. Yeah, we've got 270 season ticket holders now, which apparently is a big increase from last season. They each pay, £228 for the season. So, I mean, it's not life-changing, is it? We've actually got more season ticket holders than we sold shirts last season. So, be nice if those season ticket holders could be a little bit more committed and at least buy one shirt, please. At least buy one out of the 3 shirts that we use. Anyway, there we go. Our new captain for this season is George Ray. The King James, has left us. The 33-year-old was out of contract. I let him go. And I can already see that things are running super slow here. I guess the computer's doing a scan. We're going to see how this goes. If this continues this slow, then I'm going to have to restart the game, I think, because this is absolutely appalling. Look. There you go. There's George Ray. He's 31 years old. He's got 13 leadership, 12 teamwork. Great example for the younger players. And he is also, without question, our best defender. I think he is one of the players we have at the club that is League 2 standard. So, yeah, he was, for me, the obvious choice to be captain. I think he was just magnificent last season. Jay Williams, who has been with us since the start. He is the only survivor of the original squad that we inherited. You can see he continues to kind of drop off a little bit, as do all our players, with the amount of training that we do. He's probably not even as good as he was in our first season now. He is our vice captain. Yeah, I think this is probably going to be his last season with us. He's really pushing it to play at Vanarama National League level, I think. Athletically, he's still capable of doing it. Technically, yeah, probably not. So we'll see how things go with Jay Williams this season. But yeah, I think we might be saying goodbye to him at the end of the season. I think we might have found his limit. Kettering Town, our big rivals. Did they go up last season? I didn't even check. Let's have a little look if they are in the Vanarama North or South. No, they are still in the Southern League, which is very unfortunate. I actually thought I took the Southern League off. I thought I changed it to lose the Southern League for this season, just to speed things up a bit. But yeah, they're still there in the Southern League. They were favourites to go up last season. That's a bit of a shame. I would have liked for them to have been on our heels and maybe have had some derby games in the future. But there you go. What else has been going on? Damalio Brown Sterling he is still without a club. And his finishing, you can see, has dropped to between 3 and 6. It's really sad. He's had, since we let him go at the end of not last season, the season before, he has probably had 4 or 5 offers and he's turned them all down. I can see the way this goes now. He is one of those players that goes without a club for kind of 18 months, 2 years, and then just retires. Such a legend. It is a real shame. He is, I mean, he is just, it doesn't matter what else we do the rest of this save. He is always going to be one of our legends. 3 seasons with us. He played just over 120 games, scored more than 100 goals in all competitions. Just absolutely phenomenal. The ex-Bolton man. Really sad to see him not get a club. That is a real shame. All right, so we are here gearing up for the new season. I have played through pre-season. We are ready to take on Swindon in our first game. Before I do that, I thought I would just look at how things are going here. You can see we've got a number of favoured personnel, including myself. Now, I was voted last season the Vanarama North Manager of the Year, which was a little bit of a surprise considering how dominant Gloucester were. I mean, they just blew everybody away. But then they were one of the favourites they were the favourite having come down from the Vanarama National League previously. Again, if we look at our stats now, I mean, here's our profile. We're kind of improving. I mean, here we were, so you can see the Vanarama North Manager of the Season. That's helped us, I guess, start getting a decent reputation. We've got a 2-star reputation. We are currently studying for our National A license, so that's nice. So I thought I'd just start off there. Obviously, Cameron Gabadebo, he is last season's Vanarama North Player of the Season as well. So that's absolutely awesome. He is, as you can see, improving at the moment through pre-season, which is very nice. I'd like to think he could make himself a proper League 2 quality player. I mean, looking at his mental stats here, they don't look great, do they? But I mean, he was so good last season. I've got to have faith in him. I've got to believe in him. And hopefully he can be just as dominant. He has lost 1 heading point and 1 determination point during his time with us, I think. But we'll see how he goes. Hopefully he can do just as well in the Vanarama National League. As is customary after a pre-season, let's have a look at the transfers. I've got a couple of players here coming in on trial, but if we look at transfer history, it's actually been quite a tough pre-season in terms of bringing players in. I've lost out to a number of players that can offer more money than us, or obviously teams that are professional and can offer full-time training. So that I have lost out on a number of targets. I haven't managed to find the right back I was looking for. I did offer a very good right back a contract, and he went, I think he actually went to the Vanarama South, so he went to a lower division, getting much more money. And the same, a 17-year-old goalkeeper released by Tottenham, I offered him a contract, and he then went to a lower division for more money. So it's been kind of tough, but we have brought in, as you can see here, quite a number of players. We'll start off with Matt Butcher, because he is actually our highest paid player. He's been released by Tranmere, and he comes in the midfield. Now, you might be looking at him and thinking, well, he doesn't look that great. I can tell you he has already lost a tackling point. But I brought him in looking at these 15 long shots. I think we didn't really have enough goals from midfield last season. So I've brought in Matt Butcher. He can play defensive midfield, but I'm going to use him as a box-to-box midfielder. I think he is going to be great. Mentally, he looks fantastic. Great determination, great teamwork. So he's got no problem running all day long. His passing is acceptable, and he's got good vision. So hopefully he'll get a few assists as well. He makes really good decisions. He's composed, great anticipation to get in and steal that ball, even though he can't tackle. So I think that's a really good signing. At 6'2" and 11 strength, he's going to compete all day long. And you can see we've played a couple of FA Cup games before we start this Vanarama National League season, because the season starts so late. But he has already got a long-range goal, so he's already working out quite nicely. Who else have we brought in? I'm not going to go through all of them. Gallagher Allison is a young centre-back who can play right or left-back. So just brought him in for his flexibility, really. He's not good enough to be a starter, but as a squad player, quite nice. Jake Berger is another defensive midfielder on loan from Luton. Now that we've made a couple of other signings, he's probably not going to play. He's going to be another one of those that ends up going back to his club in January. I think we're paying him, I think £70 a week, so he's not really too much of a commitment. Same sort of deal with Marquise Martins on loan from Crewe. He's a young striker who, again, is probably not going to be good enough to play. So I think we're paying him about 170 a week. I might have those two mixed up. One's earning very little and one's earning a little bit more. But I think they might both go back to their clubs in January. Mo Torre, he is a youngster. Oh, he's not a youngster. He's 26. He's come in from TNS in Wales, but he has a lot of non-league experience in England previously. So he can play left wing, number 10, or as the striker. I think he's probably going to play as a left side inside forward. Again, he's just kind of a solid squad player rather. Just kind of a solid squad player. He improves the squad, if not the team. Isaac Smith, he is a young centre-back. Who has he just been released from? Manchester City, just like Gabadebo. He's been released by Man City. And for our level, he is, I think, exceptional. But I'm not going to play him as a centre-back. I'm going to play him as a defensive midfielder. That is where he's played pre-season. Physically, absolutely superb athlete. Mentally phenomenal, great positioning, great decisions, great concentration. He may even be better than George Ray as a centre-back. But with that 11 first touch and 10 passing, I think he just really suits our ball-winning midfielder role. He can participate in the possession game. I think he's going to be a fantastic signing for us. So I'm really, really pleased to get Isaac Smith in. Who else have we got here? We have got Zidane Iqbal. Wait till you get a load of this guy. He is going to be our new number 10, and I think he can be a real difference maker. Now, you can't see it here, but since he came in, his training has been abysmal. We've had to pull him up a few times on training. He's only been in a few weeks, and in pre-season and his first two appearances, he hasn't been great. So I'm a little bit worried that I might have bought a bit of a bad boy, even though he's got balanced personality. Yeah, he's a terrible trainer, but I looked at that 14 first touch, 13 passing, 11 dribbling, 12 vision, which was 13 when I bought him. That's already gone down. 12 composure, 12 anticipation, 12 decisions. He's just absolutely ideal in that number 10 playmaking role, I think. I think he's going to be absolutely awesome for us. Lloyd Marsh-Hughes was great in that position last season. But I think Zidane Iqbal, I mean, if you're called Zidane, you've got to be good, right? And if we look at his history, the Iraqi under-23 international started off in the Manchester United academy and then had a couple of seasons with Norwich where he failed to make an appearance. But, I mean, he's got a little bit of pedigree there from those clubs, hasn't he? So, hopefully, he is going to... Oh, my goodness, where have I gone? He is hopefully going to work out really well. Brendan McMenamin is an 18-year-old centre-back with a lot of potential. He could come into the first team and he'd probably be okay, but he is our lowest-rated centre-back. I just brought him in as a little bit of a punt for the future. See what happens with him. And finally, we've got here Ronan Curtis. Look at this. 13 caps for Ireland. He's played international football for a decent international team 13 times. And he's come to us in the Vanarama National League. Now, yeah, he's been released by Portsmouth. Look, he's played loads of games in the Championship and League One. this guy has got real pedigree. He didn't play a game last season, which is obviously why he's been released. And I mean, if you look at his ratings, you can see why. He doesn't really look like a championship level player, but for us, I think he's going to be an absolutely exceptional winger. He's another one that started losing ability already, but I mean, he's so well rounded. I think as a winger, he can play. He can play on both wings, or as a striker, or as the number 10. I mean, he's just another really flexible, really versatile player. With his 13 long shots, I think he's going to be fantastic. The 10 dribbling and 10 crossing at our level is great for a winger, and he's a decent athlete as well. So I think he's probably going to end up replacing Thomas Hughes on the left wing, but we'll see how it goes. But I think with Ronan Curtis, we've got real quality. I did try to get him last season, or when he was first released. I think he might have been released in the middle of the season last season. I did try and get him, and he was never interested. But now he's been without a club for a while. He is now content to come to us, and so I think when I look at our signings, I feel like we might not have improved necessarily the team that much, but I think the squad looks much stronger. The computer is so slow this morning. If we look at how all of these signings have affected the squad, there is also another signing there. I don't know if I just missed him or if he was down as being from last season, but we've also got Lee Brown. Let me show you Lee Brown because I'm really excited about him. He's 35. He's a veteran. He's a veteran left back, but if you look a little bit like Jamie O'Hara, he is technically absolutely exceptional, far above Vanarama National League level. I think he's got League One ability and League One mentals, maybe even Championship mentals. Phenomenal. Obviously, at 35 years old, his physicals are kind of falling off now. But I bought him in because he can actually play right back as well. So I've actually been using him at right back in pre-season. I think that's where I'm going to play him. I think he's far better than Jay Williams. If we compare him to Jay Williams, I mean, physically, obviously, he's not the kind of athlete like Jay Williams who can get up and down the field. You can see physically there, Jay Williams is killing him. But in terms of mentals and physicals, I mean, he's just far and above the better player. So yeah, I'm gonna start, as I don't have the right back I was looking for, that next level right back. I think Lee Brown is going to be playing there, and I mean, I think we'll get a good season out of him. I think his technical ability is going to make up for his lack of athleticism. So you can see I don't have him in the team for today, but that's because I'm making a few changes. We've got 2 games in, I think, 3 or 4 days. So I've made a few changes to this home game against Swindon to kind of make up for that. I'm going to play some players today, and then I'm going to go full strength. I think it's Torquay we play in the second game. So we're doing a double header in the second episode today. So yeah, the team for the first game is going to be very much looking like last season, especially at the back. Sam Blair in goal. Oh, there you go. That's another signing I've forgotten about. There you go. I've just reminded myself. These are obviously signings that I made at the end of last season and haven't shown up in this season's transfer history. I've got Adam Smith, another goalkeeper. He is 32 years old. He's in his prime, and he is probably better than Sam Blair. So Sam Blair, I'm going to stick with Sam Blair because he's been magnificent for 2 seasons. And at 22 years old, I do think he's the future of the club. But if you look technically and physically, Adam Smith is just much better than Sam Blair. Sam Blair takes it a little bit mentally, but I think in what you want from a goalkeeper, I think Adam Smith is very good. So yeah, Sam Blair has got some competition. If results are not going well, we've got another goalkeeper who can come in and do a really good job. And the other one that I signed that didn't appear on this season's transfers was Nick Radcliffe. He's a youngster, 18 years old, look, who's been released by Manchester United. and mentally he is phenomenal. Technically, he's very, very good at defending. Not so good with the ball, but at being a solid defender, he's very, very good. I've got him as cover for Bailey Clements at left back. He's a great athlete, very strong, great stamina. I mean, if you look as a defender, the only thing that's lacking is his heading ability. But the rest of it, as a nuts and bolts defender, I think he's absolutely superb. 18 years old, loads of potential. I think he could be a very good signing. I think if he improves and he starts to fulfill this potential, I think he could be a League Two quality player. But I'm very pleased to have Nick Radcliffe in. Wait and see how he does. I think he could have a big part to play. So yeah, let's go back to today's squad. So we got last season's defence is going to start against Swindon today. No changes there. Lee Brown will come in for the next game, but the rest of the defence is going to stay the same as last year. Smith and Butcher are both going to start in midfield. They are my midfielders now. I've got Ryan Croasdale and Jack Earing, last season's midfield, on the bench. I think we look really, really good in terms of squad depth in midfield now. Curtis is going to start on the left. Iqbal is going to start in the number 10 position. Waltman continues on the right and Price up front. I haven't found a striker better than James Price. I think at our level, he's got all the attributes to be a decent goal scorer. Maybe he's not much more than that, but at our level, a goal scorer is what you want. So on the bench, we're going to have Lee Brown, Ryan Croasdale, Jack Earing, Thomas Hughes, and Lloyd Marsh Hughes. And what I'm thinking is for the next game, Lee Brown, Thomas Hughes, and Lloyd Marsh Hughes come into the team. So those will be my changes for the next match, and maybe even Jack Earing. Just to finish this this part of the episode, we will come back in a moment for part 2, when we'll play our first 2 games of the season, and hopefully the computer can be running a bit faster. This is a disaster. I think I'm going to have to restart before I come back for part 2 of this episode. It's got to be doing a scan, hasn't it? It's got to be. There you go. We've had a decent pre-season. I got some really tough games for pre-season. You can see Chesterfield there, Swindon, Dartford, Hibernian, and we've done really well against everybody. Swindon and Dartford are in our division this season. I can't remember if Chesterfield are also in the Vanarama National League or if they're League Two, but we beat them as well. And Hibernian, although we lost 1-0, we were much the better team in this game. So I'm really, really positive about this season. We played Welling in the FA Cup second qualifying round. We played really, really poor in this game. Welling, I think, are they a Vanarama South team? I think they might be. I mean, I've clicked on it and we might be in for another long wait before you get to see the stats from this game. We were really fortunate to get through. I'm going to put it down as just pre-season, getting fitness together. Obviously, Welling are well into their season now, so their fitness levels should be better. We were just really, really poor. We were fortunate to get the win. Price, set up by Zidane Iqbal in the second half, made the difference. They could not take advantage of their 17 shots, 8 on target. Like I say, I don't want to panic. I want to just put it down to pre-season, getting fitness, players not ready. Not really the time you want to be playing a competitive FA Cup game, but hopefully we're going to be all right with that. We then played Chesham in our last game just 4 days ago. We beat Chesham 3-0. This was a lot more comfortable, a lot more like you want to see from us. Williams was very poor at right back, which I'm a little bit worried about. So Wunmi played because George Ray was suspended. But Iqbal had a really poor game, and that was also disappointing. I'm really worried about Zidane Iqbal. I'm wondering if he might not work out like I'm hoping. But, I mean, it was a good performance and a good solid win. Chesham, I think, are in the Isthmian League. So they are a fair way below us, but it was a good performance. So we go into this game with Swindon with a good bit of confidence, and we'll then play Torquay. You can see we get 2 days rest and then Torquay away. I'm really excited to get this season started. I think the Vanarama National League now has a lot of big names. It's going to be really fun to take them on. There you go. Chesterfield are in our league. They're not a League Two side. So we played 3 Vanarama National League teams in pre-season, and we did very well against all of them. So I'm very confident. But we've got some great names here: Scunthorpe, Chesterfield, Barnet, Dagenham and Redbridge, Aldershot, Cheltenham, Swindon, Stockport, Yeovil, Woking, Gloucester again, Torquay, Notts County, Kidderminster, and we've actually got Solihull Moors away in the 4th qualifying round of the FA Cup. It's going to be really tough to see what happens there. That's going to be a really hard game, and the board are expecting us to make the first round of the FA Cup, which is going to be really difficult. Hopefully we can get through that game against Solihull Moors. Just finish off this this part of the episode with a look at the pre-season predictions. You can see we started off pre-season, I think it was about 10th or 12th we were rated, and over the course of pre-season we've dropped to 17th. We're not a highly rated team in this division. Like I say, we've struggled to find those game changers. We don't have anyone in the media dream 11, and I mean, Notts County are the favourites. They've come down from League Two, but Gloucester, who obviously won the Vanarama North, are already 5th in the media predictions. So this is going to be a tough season. Like I said, I think if we can compete, and be pushing for a playoff place, I think that would be my target. The board just want us to stay up. I would like to see us do more than that. Let's see if we can really push and at least be in the top half of the table and in with a chance of playoffs in the last month or so of the season. If we do any better than that, I'll be delighted. But being semi-professional and having a much smaller budget, I think if we look at detailed team, we're going to have a much smaller budget than the majority of the rest of this league. You can see Stockport. Let's have a look. Sorry, where are budgets? Finances. Okay, so salary. Chesterfield spend 1.5 million a year, as do Swindon, Dagenham and Redbridge, Notts County, Gloucester are now spending 1.2 million, and we're 20th. I mean, if we can compete for playoffs, I think that would just be so far punching above our weight, wouldn't it? So that'll do for this first part. You've seen a little bit about what we're doing. We have brought in a lot of players, but really we've just been increasing squad depth. I don't think we've strengthened that much. I think we do have a couple of players which make us stronger, but we are pretty much the same team as last year. So let's see if that is going to be enough to compete at the top end of the Vanarama National League this season. I'm going to hold it there. Click on the link for part 2 of the video to see how we get on against Swindon. And then who was our second game away? It was Torquay, wasn't it? So click on the link, see how we get on. Hopefully you're more concerned about who we're playing than I am. We'll see you for Swindon at home and Torquay away in part 2. Welcome to season 5 of Dog Turds into Diamonds.